E-Resource ERP is a web-based ERP software. Being a web-based ERP software, it promises you to connect all your departments, all your branches, all your companies, your customers, your suppliers under a central system. Now, being a browser-based application, E-Resource ERP can be connected through LAN, WAN, internet, intranet, any kind of infrastructure. E-Resource ERP for manufacturing comprises of different business functions, including customers and sales management, supplier and purchase management, inventory and material management, warehouse management, production and shop floor management, production planning and control management, human resource management, accounts and finance management. For a manufacturing industry or a manufacturing company, what is most critical? The most critical is managing their inventory. When I say managing the inventory, is actually doing the material requirement planning. And the most important and the most critical for manufacturing is the MRP1 and the MRP2. When I say MRP1, I am referring to material requirement planning. When I say MRP2, I am referring to manufacturing resource planning. Now, material requirement planning, for me, it means what material is required, when it is required, and how much it is required. Manufacturing resource planning for me means what product need to be produced, how much it need to be produced, and when it need to be produced. Let me help you know the workflow of how MRP1 in E-Resource ERP works. Okay, the workflow of MRP1 and MRP2, that is material requirement planning, manufacturing resource planning in E-Resource ERP, works like this. First is your sales and the operation management. Okay, the data for your sales and operation management comes from your resource planning, okay, and demand management. By demand management, I am referring to forecast, okay, the sales forecast and the planning of your resources. On the basis of this, okay, there is a master production schedule that is created. Okay, from the master production schedule, there is a detailed material and capacity planning done. And from here, from the detailed material and the capacity plan, there is the supplier operation. By supplier operation, I am referring to your procurement process. Now, what I'm trying to tell you here is, why do you need a master production schedule, and why is master production schedule in E-Resource ERP very critical or very important? Reason being is, I may have my willingness to produce about 10,000 numbers of X item, but whether or not I am capable to produce, the system will help you know. On the basis of these parameters, the next thing is the system generates is a master production schedule. Okay. Now, in the master production schedule, again there are different parameters involved. It has to check, or it checks the equipment that is available. Okay, it checks the capacity of your equipment. It checks whether a schedule is equipped or engaged or not engaged. Okay, on the basis of that, the master production schedule in E-Resource ERP is created, and from both these parameters, finally you have a detailed material and the capacity planning. Now, by material I am referring to MRP, that is your material requirement planning. Okay, which says what material is required, how much is required, and when it is required. And by master production schedule, I am referring to MRP2 as what material need to be manufactured, or what product need to be produced, when it need to be produced, and how much need to be produced. Finally, out of all these parameters, then you finally have your supplier operation, which is your procurement operation. So that is how the MRP1 and MRP2 in E-Resource ERP works.